3, 2, Tre's a nigger. And we're back, everybody. Hey, how's it going?
What? Wait a minute.
What?
These people,
I'm
they
trying
don't
to start the show.
Okay.
How's it going, everybody? This is Deric Poston coming at you live from Ku Klux Klan talk. No, we're doing Spoil the Beans. No, Spoil the Beans today.
Ku Klux Klan.
I have another podcast. This is
Kicking it with the Klan.
Kicking it with the Klan. Episode 5. Special guest Ron Artest, Meta World Peace. It's like, whoa, that's a good guess though.
Yeah, like how'd you get
him?
Meta World Peace? What happened to that guy?
He retired from basketball, and they usually die after they do that, Trey.
Damn, man.
Yeah, athletes are like horses, man. I mean, horses. They're athletes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're just fucking. If they can't fuck, then you turn them into glue.
Same thing for professional stars. Guys, welcome back. We're back for another episode of The Beans. Happy Monday to you out there, Bean Mafia. We got a special guest. One of my best friends, one of my fucking worst enemies, one of my my husband and my mistress. He's everything to me.
Husband and mistress. Damn, that's a lot.
Tre Stewart, everybody. Tre Stewart.
Oh,
Tre Stewart.
Yeah.
Podcast. What's up, bro?
Yeah, good to be back, man. We're here in your apartment, man, on the couch
in Austin, Texas.
That's where we are. Yeah, man.
How do you like living in Austin so far? You've been living here. You've been on the road, but you've been. I feel like you've been here more than anywhere else lately.
Yeah. I have, and it's kind of been split, I guess, evenly here in LA, but slowly it's more time is being spent here. But yeah, it's dope, man. It's great. I love it, man.
I feel like we've been getting up. Like fucking animals since we've been here.
Yeah, man.
We've been getting on.
No, we haven't.
Stage.
Don't say that because people will come. Nothing's going on.
No, Tre. You don't want them here. You don't want them to come. You don't want them to come.
Nothing's going on in Austin. Listen, if you like, comedy,
then you'd hate it here.
Yuck. If you like doing shows,
go to Des Moines. I've heard they're killing it. I've heard they've a whole thing starting.
Is blowing up, man. Because Joe Rogan, he moved to Austin, but you know who moved to Des Moines?
Who?
Carrot Top. And
he's
don't do about to like light it up, bro. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing Carrot Top
like that.
I'm thinking about moving to Des Moines. I fuck with Carrot Top.
You're just hanging in Austin with me just because I'm here. That's why you're here.
Yeah, man. This is just like a pit stop for me.
Okay.
On my way to Des Moines, but while I'm here, I guess it's cool.
While I'm here, I'll get up.
Yeah, I'll do time. All right, okay.
Okay. Speaking of time, May 13th, San Antonio Bean Mafia. May 13th, your boy is coming.
Oh,
Set
shit.
the calendar. Make your plans. May 13th, if you are in the San Antonio area, your boy is coming to headline a day there. So just fucking, I'll get you the link and all that stuff. But but I'm promoting it now because I want you guys to already be on that shit. If you're in the San Antonio area and you're a beaner, Austin area, Houston or Dallas, and you're like, yo, I want to see this nigga now. May 13th, your boy's headlining in San Antonio. Come out. I'll have the link up, and I'll put it up on here as well, all right, on the next episode. So May 13th, come on out, bro. Come support your boy. Tre, you got any dates you want to plug?
That's dope.
My boy's one of the best comedians in the world. I don't know because some of them have seen you. Most of them probably haven't, though.
Yeah, maybe. I guess, good,
I don't know how much spillage I get from Chris Kattan and Tim Allen.
I think there's a lot of crossover.
Yeah, you think there's some crossover?
There's some crossover. When I was opening up for Tim, a couple people was like, he'll spoil the beans.
Most people were like,
yeah, most people were like, but then there was a couple guys where they were like, spoil, North Hollywood.
Yo.
Yeah, fans. There's a lot of crossover appeal.
Okay.
But yeah, man, fucking. I don't know. We got some dates. I don't know. Something. Yes. Fucking. What is it? I don't know. Who cares?
They might, bro. People. I would take the chance.
I can't remember it right now, but I'm playing San Antonio at some point. You're on it too, and I think it's the.
I'll plug that one for you as well.
The 10th. Yeah.
10th, I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're doing one at the Vulcan in Austin, Texas.
That's right. Yeah, the Vulcan. Yeah,
what
the 21st.
Of
April.
Mm-hmm. April 21st, guys. Get your tickets to the Vulcan. I'll be at that show as well, but my boy Trey will be fucking doing the damn thing on
Yeah,
the
man.
Vulcan in Austin, Texas. If you're in Austin, Texas, Beaner, which is a lot of you, which is very nice.
That's dope. Yeah.
Yeah. Come out.
Niggers Live. That's
that is the name. Actually, yeah, that is the
yeah,
name.
Niggers Live. Yeah. In color.
Niggers Live and in that was the original name for In Living Color, but they were like, we can't.
Yeah, they said, yeah.
Guys, this is already a big enough risk. This show already.
Yeah, it's too many black people, too many minorities.
It's too many.
And Jim Carrey.
And Jim Carrey, you all got dresses on.
Yeah.
Everybody's got on a dress.
Yeah, man.
You know what, man? You know what I missed, Trey?
What?
Before we get into the episode, I was thinking about this and it just hit my brain, but I want to talk about it with you because I'd love to hear your opinion. I don't like that in comedy now, there is no avenue for a young comic to get that first shine. There is no Comic View. There is no Def Jam.
Yeah.
There's no Comedy Central, this thing.
Yeah, there's nothing.
A late night set means nothing, and it's still impossible to get one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't even mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything, but there's no... Trey, where is... Or how do you feel... Like, why doesn't this generation have a Comic View? Why doesn't this generation have a Def Jam, a fucking... a Premium Blend, You know what I'm saying? I can go on and on.
Nothing, yeah. There's nothing.
That broke so many comics.
I think because they stopped trying to... Even though... People love watching new comedians and they love watching those showcase shows. They stopped showcasing people. And it was social media. Everybody is famous now. They only fucked with people who have followers.
Yeah.
So they don't need to showcase anymore. So the shows are gone, and only the clubs are the true showcases of up and coming comedians now. I mean, you got to see that shit live.
You can't. So you're saying there is no more, I'm going to discover the stand-up comic.
Well, they don't care. There's no more show. That's all I get, because these people, it's about money, Yeah. So when it was making money, it was cool. But now that, they don't really have to break anybody. They don't have to. Why the fuck should they show you a fresh face when they can go with somebody that's Twitter famous? So, you know what I mean? That's
well, you know what it else? Because to them, I get it. They're like, hey, why cut out the middleman of us trying to make you famous?
Right.
Let's get this person who already they're not famous, but shit, 75,000 people are fucking with them.
That's something.
Yeah.
And that translates to dollars, which is all they give a fuck about, really. So, yeah, I think it doesn't really, even though I think it's stupid because they could make a lot of money.
Well, I mean, this is how you make money, Trey. Every famous comedian started on one of those shows I just named.
I know.
Every single famous comedian I mean, dude, did you not watch? I mean, we all watched on Netflix. What made me really think about this was the other day when I was in Nashville with my boy D-Bates. Shout out to D-Bates.
Yeah.
I'm in Nashville with my boy D-Bates, and he put on the 25-year or the 50-year reunion? I think it was the 50-year for Def Jam.
Oh,
remember that, the one they had on Netflix where Dave Chappelle rips it? I mean, he just murders that shit.
Yeah.
Just going off the cuff for 15 minutes in the middle of the show. He kills it. That's what I'm talking about. But what made me mad is I'm watching it. Every single famous comic ever that's ever did it, unless they came up before that time, was on that show.
Yeah.
Every single one, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, every single famous comic you can fucking think, and not even the ones that you can't think of. I'm talking about like the niggas you don't know, like the Rudy Rushes, like the fucking. You might not know Bruce. You might not know, Earthquake. You might not, but these guys are legends, and these guys have been working forever and make a unbelievable living doing stand-up comedy, and they got their break on that show.
It's crazy.
Trey, where the fuck is that for our generation? So you're telling me it's only social media?
It's only social media. And listen, you can even look at the most recent Def Comedy Showcase. They had one. They did bring it back. Tony Rock hosted it.
How long ago was this?
Tony Rock, a couple years ago, right?
Well, I mean, we're talking 2010, or are we talking like 2018, 2019?
I think it was 17 or something, 18.
Okay.
And it was it seems like a long time ago, but COVID really fucked up the perception of time.
Yeah, because there's two realities. Well, we live in Avengers Endgame, where there's the blip,
blip, right.
There's pre-blip, there's pre-Thanos, and then there's, which is crazy. Our Thanos is COVID. That was our snap.
Yeah, and it didn't kill nearly as many people.
No, he killed half. He killed half the fish.
Yeah, which is
he
crazy.
killed half the geckos and half the fucking dogs.
It's crazy because that's not even how ecosystems work. There has to be more of something. It's not like a perfect amount of everything. It's like half and half. It's like you don't know Maybe you needed more fish to feed a certain kind of animal in that area. And now that you have to, that animal is extinct now.
No, Thanos did not think about the ramifications of science.
Yeah, he just
behind
wasn't,
his decision. He was more focused on, his.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Thanos was on some other shit, nigga.
He was, man. I mean, and he won. He technically won.
Yeah, but to snap away, it is funny to think that some lady didn't fade away, but like her dog faded away.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, there's no. He really could have honed in a little bit. Like, maybe I'm gonna just get rid of the fucking assholes.
Yeah, he's like, you know what?
Because it's a. Also, yeah, he didn't have to get rid of everybody.
Remember the whole problem was he was like, there's not enough food and supplies. Hey, snap your fingers and double instead of minusing everything, add, nigga.
So you didn't have to kill anybody.
You could have snapped a whole other universe.
Yeah,
where everything was just better.
Supplies, yeah.
Why are you like what in your head? Like, because you got it in your head that was the only way, and it's like somebody could have been like, oh, bro, why didn't you just snap more food? And
you could have helped. Yeah.
Why did you think that was the only way? You beat everybody's ass for that.
Yeah.
But no, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about why the fuck isn't there stand-up opportunities?
Because
because
HBO,
we get sidetracked so easily. That's why.
Yeah, it's about Thanos. They just give them a fucking Marvel movie and they'll just shut up. That's our generation, man. They'll shut up. What? You have no upward mobility? Fucking Tiki Wakaki, bitch. He's directing Star Wars. Tiki Wakaki.
Yo, that dude can direct too.
I mean, yeah. So it's all right that a whole generation can't move upward in society. No,
I'm talking about comedy specifically. Because I do agree. I think social media was just like everything. It was the great and bad for comedians. The great is you don't need anyone. That is awesome. Yeah. Now a comic can blow up on his own, and I mean you don't need a fucking just your phone.
Just your phone.
That's all you need, and you can blow the fuck up and be the biggest comedian in the world, and that is fucking awesome, and I do love that. But with that comes the evil of now like you said, these networks are like, well, why would we try and find who's the new person when
there's no risk involved? Yeah,
we can just go look at who's already the new person, who already has all these followers, and it's like, but this craft is about. That's the thing, is like finding someone with this unique perspective that you can showcase.
You know what it is too. A little Hollywood inside baseball. They call me Hollywood Trey. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, they call you Austin Trey.
They call me Austin born, Austin raised,
Hollywood.
Texas made, Hollywood raised, Texas made.
Ooh, I like that. That's fire, nigga.
But I think what it is I got to talk to like the casting director of Universal. I was going up at Universal a lot, and I met the fucking guy that put Tiffany Haddish in Girls Trip. And we talked about the process of how hard that was, right? He believed in Tiffany, and he had to take Tiffany because she was a replacement for Leslie. They wanted Leslie, and then Leslie like wanted a lot of money, and they were like, "What would you get? Cheaper you?" And then that's pretty much what they did. They were like, "We'll just get cheaper you. You're good, but we can't afford you." So, which is like they could have paid Leslie, but it would have been a completely different movie. And no, Tiffany killed it.
Also, it was for Tiffany. That role.
Yeah, it was for Tiffany, bro. And so, but that's why also it literally was. They didn't even write, like it literally was Tiffany because she went and just murdered it. But he brought it to like there's like a board of people so he's the casting director, he's the president, and there's a board of people he has to bring somebody to, and then they all can veto it, and he had to like say he was like, this girl, she's funny, she can kill it, and they were like, well, she's just not, her numbers aren't, and that's so there. It's literally fucking. Those are the people that are fucking it. So even when you have somebody that like a motherfucker that is like open to breaking someone, he's fighting against people who for whatever reason are there. I don't know. Fuck this. You kill them. Just murder them all. You know what I mean? No, I'm just playing hire me, but I don't want to murder you. But like they're the ones, to answer your question. They're the fucking kinking up the machine that is Hollywood.
Yeah,
they're the gum in the fucking mechanics
that are fucking slowing everything down.
They're slowing everything down for no reason. It wants to run smoothly, some people, I believe, are really looking for talent. And then you know what else too? It's the people underneath these people. like the agents,
managers,
and manage assistants. Because sometimes I'll meet people who are like, cool ass casting directors or whatever, but their assistants aren't at clubs and they're not looking for the new talent.
Who's the next? Who's the next comic?
Right.
Where are they?
No, you know where they're looking? Instagram, Twitter, and so
TikTok.
That's what they send their boss, and then their boss is busy fucking making money and doing cocaine or whatever they're doing, and so it's like they don't have time to vet anybody, and so so it's a lot of laziness, and there's some good people, I've met some good people that like are doing it, but just like in comedy, man, you meet some good bookers.
Yeah, you'll meet the occasional good booker where you're like,
but
wow,
mostly,
this person's doing it right.
Right, but mostly it's motherfuckers that shouldn't be in charge.
Making extremely crucial decisions to another person's life. Man, I do hope. I think everything comes back, and I do think there will be a new show and a new kind of comic view or a new Def Jam or even just like a new, Comedy Central half hour, just where it's like, this is what breaks people.
And I mean, Kevin Hart is the closest thing I can think of.
To trying to put something out?
To even trying, man. Kevin Hart, Heart of the City.
Yeah, that's the closest.
It's the closest
thing. And it hasn't broke anybody yet, but somebody who's been on that will eventually blow up because that's just how the game works.
Yeah.
But it isn't it's not being pumped out consecutively enough like a comic view or like a Def Jam. And also, I mean, you gotta, I mean, we're being hunted, bro. No offense to Heart of the City, but like I saw how the inner workings of that worked. I fucking auditioned for that. And just so, I'm not gonna say any names, but just so happened that the guy who put on the show, who was supposed to be booking and choosing it, somehow was all of a sudden on it. And you're like,
the guy that was supposed to be booking it. Wait, so you're telling me the person that was booking the showcase?
Because you only pick 3.
Yeah. Right. And so 2 other people and the person that booked it.
Yeah, and the other 2 should have made it. I was very excited that they did.
But the third
one, you were just like, it's just like little things like that where you see the game and it's like, well, you can't, you gotta book it. That's what made Comic View and Def Jam great, is you gotta book it. Mm-hmm. You do gotta like find some killers, nigga. You can't fuck around.
You gotta book it, man. And so here's the problem. And if you could just follow that, so it starts something like that with Kevin Hart. It starts with a good place. It starts at a good place, but then he just doesn't. He's not hands on enough.
Well, he's doing Jumanji too, bro. I'm not hands on with that either. If I'm doing Jumanji,
but then hire someone. So there's a way to.
He did. Joey Wells. He hired it.
Who's Joey Wells?
The guy who runs that show. That's the guy who runs it and books it. Like that's the actual showrunner for that show. Is Joey Wells.
But so here's the thing: is like. Is then that's not the right person. That what I'm saying is Kevin.
No, it's not about that though, because that's your boy.
No, it's not about
that's
being
his
your boy.
No,
bro.
he hired his. No, bro, I would do the same. Hey, Trey.
Listen,
if I had Kevin Hart money, no bullshit, and I would hire you to run a thing just because why wouldn't I? Who am I giving? Why wouldn't I give my boy a show?
But listen, let me tell you this.
I'm not gonna
hire.
Like,
if you ask me to do your show, I'm down. But if you tell me to book it, I'm just booking it. I mean, what do you? That's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. So I'm not saying he's not good at it, but I'm saying he shouldn't be him. And it's like, well, it's not like some network hired him. Like, Kevin Hart gave it to his wife. Get how that works.
And that's my critique. My critique. Well, if I would definitely say something like, I hired you to book it, and you put yourself on it, nigga.
You wouldn't care if you were in Jumanji 3, bro.
I wouldn't. Busy. I wouldn't be in Jumanji 3. So that's what we're talking about.
Why wouldn't you be in Jumanji 3? What are you talking about? You wouldn't be in Jumanji 3.
Because I care too much, man. I couldn't do it, bro. Like I don't have he's fucking a beast. I'm too lazy when it comes down to it. I don't care enough. It's not I care too much. I don't care enough. I don't want it. Definitely not lazy. But I don't want to be.
You wouldn't be flying around doing every show possible.
No.
Scrounging if you were lazy.
I'm not lazy, but I tell you what. You look at somebody like a Kevin Hart and you go, this nigga wants this. The fireworks behind him, he wants the flamethrowers.
Yeah.
I don't desire, and you have to put in the work to get a flamethrower shot at behind after every punchline. You got to put in the work. They don't just give that out.
No, I know they don't. But I'm saying you.
So I don't have.
You say there's nothing in you that you wouldn't take the Jumanji role.
If I was blessed enough to, I don't think I have that. Yeah. If I got it, I would take it. But what I'm saying to you is like what Kevin Hart has, he fucking worked and earned, and I don't have that desire. I don't need to be in. He also has like a little man complex, so he's got to be fucking. He's got the rock star life, and he's living it for sure. but he's also like short, so he's got something to prove.
That's true.
You know, and I'm just kind of kicking him. I just want to make a lot of money, fuck age appropriate bitches right at the line, figure out where the line is. And then never cross it, but dance on it.
But and brother, I mean Michael Jackson.
Bojangles, tap dancing, fucking
brother.
Oh, just kidding. No.
Oh my God.
No.
Okay. I didn't even mean to waste so much time because the movie. We have to get into the movie.
Yeah. Okay.
We have to get into the movie, and it's like there's so much with that. So we wasted so much time. Trey.
Yes.
Before we get started, do you like football?
You know, I'm not a sports guy, but I'll watch football. I'll enjoy it.
You'll enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I'll enjoy it. I like the community of it. I like watching it with the boys.
You respect that the players are human beings and not number salaries.
Absolutely. Well, they are.
They're human beings.
They are human. Yeah, and they fucking deserve to be paid, you know?
Yeah, they deserve to be paid more money. I agree with that. And since we're talking about NFL players deserving more money, I'm going to bring up one in particular.
Who?
Mr. Darren Bates, Tre Stewart. Darren Bates, Daren Bates. That's how you spell it. Darren Bates at Westlandson_56 on Instagram. This is all he wants you to do, Bean Mafia. He literally paid for this ad. This is an ad, by the way. If you're new here and you're like, because you came for this movie, I get this movie's a big deal, and I know why you came, and you're like, oh my God, they're doing this movie. I'll fucking get there, bro. Relax. Guys, Darren Bates, all he wants you to do is he wants you to just follow him on Instagram. That's it. That's all he wants you to do. Follow him on Instagram. He has a podcast called The Raw Room. It's literally available wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. Hit that search bar, type in Raw Room, hit subscribe. Tell him the Beans sent you. Send him a message. Say, hey, man, I was listening to the Beans. They said go to you. Now I came to you, and now I am a fan of you. Darren Bates, NFL player for the last 10 years. Amazing career. Now he's a podcaster. While he's playing in the NFL, he's doing a lot of shit. So go support our boy, man. He supports us. He literally pays all the bills for this podcast. All he wants you to do is go follow him at Darren Bates on Instagram, at DBTrey5 on Twitter. Actually, on Twitter, he does cash giveaways. So it's actually good to follow him on Twitter.
What?
He gives away cash. He's a rich fucking NFL player. He's paying the bills here.
Man. That's crazy. This guy. It's a tax write-off, too.
Oh, he's smart. Yeah. D Bates, he's the man. Go follow him. Go show him love.
Yeah, that's why people give shit away.
Yeah. It's never for love.
No.
It's never for the kindness.
No, fucking when Drake did that whole music video.
Oh, the $1 million?
Yeah, he gave it away. Yeah, he's fucking, he knows what he's doing.
Also, it wasn't his $1 million. The studio gave him $1 million as a budget for the video. Mm-hmm. And he, instead of making it, he just gave that away.
Yeah. And he gets to claim that back on his taxes. Yeah. So that's great.
That's good on him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking dope, man.
And it was a good video.
I didn't see it, but I heard it was good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Makes you cry. Trey.
Can we watch it right now?
Yeah.
Actually, wait, before this, can I be honest with you? I was talking to my friend. He said that this was actually a good movie.
Hold on, I haven't said the movie yet.
Okay.
Before you say, because I want you to say, but let me tell you the movie first.
Okay.
Well, can I ask you a question before you hold on to that? Pin that.
Okay.
Trey, would you say Quentin Tarantino is the greatest director of all time?
I mean, he's definitely top 5.
Where in the top 5?
Like, I guess he's like 4.
Who do you put above him?
Mel Gibson, James Cameron, and who's the fucking guy?
Scorsese?
No. God, the guy that did. Do you know the fucking who directed 16 Candles?
Oh, him. That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He did Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
He did all
Who
those.
Is that guy?
He did all that guy.
Yeah.
We all know that guy.
John Carpenter.
John Carpenter. No. John Candy. No. John Goodman. No. John.
Wait, it might be John Goodman.
Called a John. No, it's not John Goodman. No, it's not John Goodman. You fucking idiot. It's that John. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's a great director.
He's great, man.
People love him. He is great.
Yeah.
All right. That's okay. I mean, to say any of them are better than Tarantino is blasphemy, but okay.
What are you talking about, man?
It's your choice. Your top 5.
Okay, well, listen. He's good. I'm not saying he can't direct. I'm just saying,
it's not just the directing though; it's the writing as well. He writes his own movies. That's what makes Tarantino. That is, you have to give him that. That is what separates him.
He does, yeah. He writes
original screenplays, not adapted. I mean, these are, he goes
well,
original.
He's borrowed heavily from.
No, yeah, I'm not saying he's borrowed.
Yeah.
People borrow styles. I'm talking about. He didn't have. There wasn't a source material. Django is him. There's not source material.
Well, wasn't that a manga?
No.
Django. Okay, you sure?
Yeah.
Wasn't it a comic book?
No.
Oh, I thought it was based on a.
I mean, no, I'm saying, but like, it's not like you're not. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's not a book out there called Django Unchained, nigga, and it's about it's not that out there, bro. This nigga,
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know why I thought it was a book.
No, this nigga's got original screen. I mean, Pulp Fiction.
Well, I thought original.
All these things are original.
So Django wasn't a DC character.
No, where are you getting this shit from? What sites are you on?
Oh, this is what Breitbart said. Breitbart, fucking the fucking Tucker Carlson in them.
Okay. No, stop listening to them.
All right, okay. They've never steered me wrong before.
Yes, they have. You keep going to the wrong rallies.
But Quentin is great.
Quentin is unbelievable. Why I say he's the best of all time is because of the original writing and the original style of directing that he has.
Yes.
Also, the only person who I say is the new him, and I've said this on the pod a bunch, but I want to hear what you think. I say Jordan Peele is the closest thing we have to a Quentin Tarantino out there, in that original ideas, original directing style.
Yeah. Because who else is nobody? We don't have anybody else really
that's doing original
shit. And
I like Coogler, but it's not original.
It's not original. He's good at it, but
he's good at what he does.
It's not original, and he didn't fucking like. Yeah, like Peele came out the gate
bending your mind
with whoa, you know what I mean? And it was great, and it was he's the closest thing we got, I think. Yeah, to somebody that's that creative with every aspect of not just writing it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Trey, you've seen pretty much every Tarantino movie, haven't you?
I have. It's only like a couple that I haven't.
What have you seen?
This one.
What else?
I don't know. I can't think of them. I know I haven't seen them all. But there's a couple posters.
Have you seen Inglourious?
What's?
Have you seen Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah. Yes.
Have you seen Pulp Fiction?
Yes.
You seen Kill Bill 1?
Yep.
2?
Mm-hmm.
You seen Death Proof?
No.
Okay. You seen Jackie Brown?
No.
You seen Django?
Yes. Yeah.
Inglourious Bastards?
Yep. Oh, right. Yeah.
And then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yep.
Okay, you've seen them all.
Okay.
Other than
you see Hateful Eight? Too. Yeah. But I didn't see. I didn't see 2 of what you said.
You didn't see 2 of them. Yeah. 1 we did on the podcast already. It's very rare to find somebody who hasn't. I get excited when I do an episode about Tarantino, bro. This is. I mean, to me, he's the GOAT. He is. He's by far the GOAT.
That's yeah.
Trey, can you tell me what you think happens in the movie you've never seen that I'm about to tell you this whole fucking masterpiece?
What is it called?
Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown.
Don't look it up.
Oh. Wait, can we pause this?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Because I want to look it up.
I want to just wiki it real quick. I'll tell you exactly what it's about, Derek. Hold on.
Well, let me see. Well, I don't know, man. Because my friend, he did tell me. I think I don't want to. I want to watch it.
What do you mean?
Because I heard it was good.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, Bean Mafia. This has never happened before. Where the guest wants to watch it. Yeah, it is really good. That's why I wanted to tell it to you. That's the whole point of the podcast. You've done this pod before. Remember Failure to Launch? Remember how bad you wanted to see that?
I know. But listen, this was. Can we just do Alvin and the Chipmunks Shipwrecked?
Have you not seen that either?
I haven't seen that one. Shipwrecked.
Well, luckily, I watched that this morning too.
Yo, that would be the greatest.
The greatest twist of all time. and then like right then under the on the YouTube, the title changes from Jackie Brown to, and the people are like, how the fuck did they get that on their YouTube thing? What the fuck?
Yo, that's fucking the magic of Hollywood, man. Damn.
All right, Trey, what do you think happens to Jackie Brown? Tell me your version.
I don't know. I
Jackie
think she's
Brown.
like a hard ass, no nonsense librarian
Okay.
that like doesn't take any shit.
Okay.
And then she just is goes from town to town whipping up the fucking illiterate hobos that lives there. And it's like
Holy shit. Keep going.
I mean, that's it. And then she
What's your
she
climax
just
of this
arrives to
thriller?
this town that like she's educating them on the beauty of reading, and it's also a musical.
The beauty of reading, and it's a musical. Trey, you really have no idea what Jackie Brown's about. I figured you knew, like I know who's in it, or I know. I've heard
No. Samuel L. Jackson.
I
think he plays like the landlord or something.
Okay, do you know anyone else is in it?
That's it.
And it's about a librarian who sings her way through homeless people's problems and beats their ass at the same time. That is Tarantino. Is that not Quentin? Is that not Quentin?
And there's a lot of gory blood fights.
A lot of gory blood fights.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of bloody fights.
And that's
that
Jackie
she finds
Brown.
herself into. Yeah.
Wow. I think, and I mean, this is episode 215 or some shit, and I think that's the wrongest I've ever seen a guest. I don't think I've ever seen a guest be more wrong ever in 215 tries. So, very impressive.
Well, you tell me what it's about then? What do you think it's about?
Oh, I don't think.
Motherfucker.
Starts a film by Quentin Tarantino. We see our lead, Pam Grier, the beautiful.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right.
She's in
Yeah.
this, okay?
Yeah.
Pam Grier. And those walk things in the airport where you just stand and they're just going?
Yeah.
She's on one of those, right? And the credits start rolling, and you hear, across 110th Street, you want it to be. And it's that long format of like a long fucking Tarantino style fucking intro where the credits are rolling and she's just going across this whole thing.
Yeah.
Jackie Brown.
Oh,
okay?
wow. Yeah.
So we see people going through the TSA. She walks right by. We see she's in a flight attendant outfit. Okay? She rushes to her plane. Music keeps going. Credits for a while. It's long. It's like 5 minutes, but it's long as hell.
You're right.
She gets to, you see her finally get to work, and she starts, welcome aboard, welcome aboard, welcome aboard. Like she's a flight attendant. Okay? Cut to, we see a TV. And like on the TV, a show is playing, and it's a show called Chicks Who Love Guns. And it's just super hot chicks with guns.
Oh, nice.
All right? And we see our boys, the two other leads of this, the great Samuel Jackson.
Right. I knew about him.
And the fucking legend, Robert De Niro.
Oh, he's in this?
Oh, he's in this.
What? Oh, yeah. So I really do want to watch it then.
Trey, we're in it now.
Okay.
Okay, you're like, wait a minute, Derek, hold up. This sounds like it's really good.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Samuel Jackson and Robert De Niro.
Pam Grier?
What's happening?
So they're in Hermosa Beach, California. Okay? And then you hear Samuel Jackson go, he's like, now that's a Tech 9. It's a little cheap spray gun. The retailer for about $380. I got two of them. I sell them for like $800. You know what I mean? He's a gun salesman, right? And he's going off about like all the he goes, that gun right there, that's the most popular gun in American crime. You believe that? It comes like on the box, like they proud of the shit. The most popular gun in American crime. This nigga has like, just so you can see him, he has like a dark ponytail. It's like a light brown ponytail. It's long as hell.
Yeah.
And this nigga has like a goatee thing, and it's like braided down here.
Oh, yeah. No, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And De Niro, thick mustache, and he's kind of like frumpy looking. He's got some tattoos on him and shit. Our boy keeps talking guns, and he's breaking down everything to De Niro, who hasn't said anything. De Niro hasn't said anything. All right? You see this bad white bitch bring him drinks, and it's Sam Jackson's girl. Right, and you see her like her feet, and De Niro's staring at her. He just kind of keep looking at her and shit. And while they're talking, they keep talking about guns. He's like, "Oh, the AK-47. Oh, nigga, that's the gun right there. You know that Tarantino style of dialogue, nigga. That's the most. You want to absolutely, positively gotta kill a motherfucker.
Yeah,
man, that gun right there kill everybody in the room." And he keeps talking, and then the phone rings, and he's like, "Hey, grab that for me, baby." And the girl keeps eating. This young white girl, and she's like, "It's for you." And he looks at her. Don't make me put my foot in your ass. And she's like, oh. And she gets up and she's like, hello. And she hangs up. She like puts the phone down. It's for you. And she walks off. And he's like, this motherfucking bitch. So he starts going to talk to her, right? The white girl starts talking to Deniro about how boring he is. She's like, oh, he's always talking guns and money and all this shit. And Deniro's like, you know, I'm impressed, you know? And then she's like, well, you want to smoke some weed? He hits it. And she's like, how long you been out of jail? He's like, oh, just 4 days ago. He was like, I was in there for damn near 4 years for bank robbery. And the girl smiles and she's like, damn, I'm impressed. Okay?
Fucking horror.
Trey, don't do that. So Sam comes back. He talks about how like, oh, that was just a nigga on the phone trying to buy a gun just because of that TV bullshit I was talking about, right? And he keeps going on about his business, and the phone keeps ringing again. And it's like they keep talking as the phone keeps ringing, and then he gets quiet and he looks at this white girl who's like not answering, you know what I mean? And he's staring at her, and then finally this bitch gets up. He's like, this motherfucking bitch, right? And she goes and she answers the phone, and then the white girl comes back and she doesn't say anything. She hangs up, answers the phone, she talks. She hangs up. You hear Samuel Jackson keeps talking. She comes, she sits down, she keeps smoking weed. Samuel Jackson finally stops and he's like, well, bitch, you gonna tell me who was on the phone? And she goes, Beaumont. And he's like, you fucking Beaumont bitch. And he goes back up and he calls Beaumont and he's like, Beaumont, what's up? Nigga, the fuck you doing in jail? Nigga, the fuck you doing that for? Goddamn, nigga. You got better sense to get drunk and drive with a pistol? Beaumont, nigga, listen, chill. Yeah, chill. Nigga, I know you scared. Well, nigga, that's their job to scare the shit out you. They're the police. Cut to the city of Carson. All right? We see Deniro and Samuel Jackson pulling up to a bail bonds place. The dude in the bail bonds place is on the phone. His name is Max Cherry, right? And it's Robert Forster. You know who that is? White actor? Legendary dude. If you saw him, you recognize him. Motherfucker got an Oscar nomination for this role.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's a bail bondsman and shit, right? And he's on the phone saying like, just regular shit. Like, hey, if you want me to do that job, it's going to cost you $2,000. I can get your son out, man, but that's what it's going to cost. My price is my price. You know, we'll do it, right? And so right there, you see Samuel Jackson walk in. He's like, how can I help you, sir? And Samuel Jackson's like, yo, nigga, I need a bond for $10,000. And then he's like, all right, well, let me get to work. So he starts getting to work on the shit. And then he goes, so you want a $10,000 bond? What's your collateral? He's like, I don't need no collateral, nigga. I got it in cash. He's like, you got it with you? He's like, right here in my Raptor bag. And he holds it up. He's like, well, if you have it in cash, why do you need me? He goes, man, you know how the police always do a black man with all this cash. They're going to start questioning me about where I got it from and all that shit. I'm just going to go through you. And the guy's like, okay. Well, it's going to cost you $1,000 for the bond. And Samuel Jackson's like, that's fine. He's like, who's it for? He's like, Beaumont. What's his last name? Nigga, Beaumont. That's all I know. That's what I call him, Beaumont. And he's like, Beaumont, he tells him like whole Beaumont story and what happened and how he got caught, right? And the Max dude's suspicious. And he's like, man, $10,000 bond just for getting caught with a pistol. He's like, that's pretty high. Like, are you into some shit? Like, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? And he goes, look, man, so like right then, Deniro comes up right behind him. He's like, hey, Ordell, I'm going to go wait in the car. And that's how you find out. Samuel Jackson's character's name is Ordell. He's like, Ordell, I'm going to wait in the car. He's like, for sure. Check out some of that music I got in there and shit and all that, right? So he finds out, you find out that he looks him up. His name's Beaumont Livingston. He's served 9 months prior, and he's on 4 months of probation. And he got caught with unregistered machine gun in his car. And then Samuel Jackson's like, damn, it was a machine gun? He's like, they going to consider that a violation of his probation, really? And he's like, the Max guy is like, it sure will. He's like, how much time is he looking at? He's like, if he goes down for this, he's looking at like 10 years. And he's like, damn, Beaumont ain't the kind of brother that can last 10 years. And he lights up a cigarette. All right. So he cut to that night. We see, all right, Hollywood, 2 blocks up from Hollywood Boulevard and Western. Like that comes across the screen. It's nighttime. You see a little thing that says Beaumont Livingston. Right? This nigga knocks and rings the doorbell. Who the fuck is it? He's like, hey man, it's me, your benefactor, motherfucker. Chris Tucker opens the door. That's who Beaumont is. I know.
Chris Tucker is in the movie.
Chris Tucker's in a Tarantino movie.
What are you talking about, man?
I know, dog. Isn't that crazy? You didn't know Chris Tucker was in a Tarantino movie?
I know.
Crazy,
Damn.
bro.
Y'all gotta watch it now.
No, I'm telling you it right now.
I know, but the way you tell it at the point, I'm like, wait, can we put it on?
I know. The more I'm telling you, and the what's worse is it gets bad because I'm just setting it up. This is all set up.
Oh my!
He hasn't even gotten into the plot yet.
Oh man.
So Ordell comes up to his place, and Beaumont's like, yo, OD, what up, nigga? He's like, man, look at your free ass, man. He's like, damn, nigga, I didn't know you was coming by. And he was like, man, he's like, hey, who was there for you, nigga? Who bailed you out? He's like, my nigga Odell. Who bailed you out? My nigga Odell. He's like, man, no problem. I appreciate that shit, bro. I really do. He's like, hey, that's my job. You get in trouble, I look out for you. And then they start like, look, he goes, like, Beaumont goes, hey, look, OD, man, they talking serious hell about these machine guns and shit. Man, they said, and then Odell's like, what you talking about, bro? That's a 3-year-old crime. You ain't got to worry about that. Just because you got caught with a machine gun, they ain't gonna bother you. He said, brother, that ain't what they saying. They saying they gonna put me away for like 10 plus years, nigga. And he said, well, brother, let me tell you what. I already went down to my lawyer. This nigga got it on Johnny Cocker's ass. Beat him. He's gonna look at your case. He said he can beat you, like beat this shit, so don't worry about it. Just cool out. Everything's good. And he's like, damn, bro, I appreciate that shit. He's like, no problem, bro. You know I got you. And then Samuel Jackson goes, now look, I hate to be the kind of nigga that, you know, ask for a favor and shit and then immediately ask for a favor back. You know, do a favor for a nigga that immediately ask for a favor back, but I got to be that nigga tonight. I need a favor. He's like, I need you to roll somewhere with me. He's like, bro, come on, man. It's late as hell. I'm home. I'm high, nigga. Don't make me go somewhere. He's like, nigga, why are you home? Why are you high? Who got your black ass out of jail? I spent 10 grand of my motherfucking money to get you out of jail. Oh, fuck, man. He's like, come on, just help me out. Throw some clothes on. Chris is like, all right, I got you. He throws some clothes on. They start walking to the car. He's like, what's the problem? Samuel Jackson's like, well, it's not really a problem. It's just a situation. See, I'm going to sell these machine guns to these fucking Koreans tonight. Only problem is I ain't never met these motherfuckers. And I got one rule. Never do business with someone you ain't never met before without backup. You going to be my backup tonight, nigga. Why are you shaking your head?
Because you can't have Chris Tucker as backup.
That's a great fucking point, Trey.
I was like, what is he talking about? But all right, I don't know what's going on.
But I like where your head's at. You're like, what the fuck is going on? So he takes him to his car and he opens his trunk and he gives him a shotgun and he goes, hey, so I'm gonna need you to pop, when I show them the money, you're gonna pop out the trunk with this shotgun and just rack this motherfucker. And Chris Tucker's like, yo, man, I don't want to shoot nobody, man. I'm already in enough trouble as it is. He goes, bro, you ain't got to fucking shoot nobody. All you got to do is fucking get out and cock that motherfucker. He's like, yo, man, I don't want to be in this fucking dirty-ass trunk. He's like, bro, it's just 10 minutes. It's around the block. It'll be fine. Man, I'm not doing that shit. Bro, are you fucking kidding me? I fucking helped you out. Man, let me ride in the front. No, you can't ride in the front. That takes away the element of surprise. Man, I got problems in small spaces and shit, nigga. I can't do that. Bro, you got to do it. I paid 10 grand. You would have been in a small-ass space in a jail cell. Nigga, I can handle a jail cell, nigga. I'm not getting in your trunk. Man, you got to get in the trunk. They go back and forth for a while. And the shot, the whole angle, is from the trunk's perspective.
Oh, wow.
So you see them, and they're just back and forth for a long time arguing.
That's so funny.
And he's like, nigga, fuck you, man. I'm not getting in no trunk. He's like, bro, come on, bro. You did shit for me. How about this? You get in the trunk for me, and after this, I'll take you to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles on me. Get the bacon, the chicken, the fucking gravy on the side.
Damn, he hit him with the Roscoe's.
Hit him with the Roscoe's, nigga. And Chris Tucker's like, we going to Roscoe's? He's like, hell yeah. He's like, man, how long gotta be in this motherfucker? And then he hands him the trunk, the gun, and he puts him in the trunk. And he's like, man, how long gotta? Bam! He slams that shit. Hey, nigga, fuck you! You ugly ass ponytail motherfucker! Samuel Jackson gets in his car, puts on some black gloves, real slow, cuts on some dope ass soul music. He grabs his gun out the glove box, cuts his music up, smiles, pulls off. We see him drive around for just a second for where this nigga goes maybe around a block and then pulls into like a field. Music stops. He cuts the car off. Music stops. He goes to the back, opens the trunk, and you hear Chris Tucker go, damn, you do a nigga favor. Bam, bam, bam. Kills that nigga. What? Closes the trunk, gets back in the car, cuts the car, the music cuts back on. He drives off. All one shot.
Why did he kill him?
Why do you think?
Because he's black.
Damn, really?
But let's keep going. I want to see if I'm right.
Okay. So we see this older black woman doing like a tease dance for Deniro as this nigga's like awkwardly watching this shit. City of Compton. The black woman gets a call. Hey, Lewis, baby. You go, hey, I got Lewis with me, baby. He's like, oh, it's just Ordell. And he goes, she hands the phone to Lewis. Lewis is Deniro. He's like, Lewis, my man, what you doing? He's like, oh, you just hanging with Shimon? Oh, she doing a little show for you? He's like, yeah. He's like, well, guess what? I'm in this old mobile outside. Step outside for your boy. I got some shit for your eyes only. So De Niro comes outside. He opens the trunk. And De Niro's like, who's that? That's Beaumont. Who? An employee I had to let go. What'd he do? Well, Beaumont put himself in a position where he was going to have to do 10 years in prison. And if you know Beaumont, you know he can't do 10 years in prison. And well, he would tell the government about anything about my black ass to stop him from having to do those 10 years in prison. And I call that a clear case of him or me. And you best believe it ain't going to be me. That answer your question?
Yeah, he hates niggers.
Trey, that is not.
Clearly. Damn.
So Louise starts smoking a cig, and he goes, let me tell you something, Louise. You come in on this shit with me, you got to be prepared to go all the way. I got about a $500,000 down in Cabo. I make this big delivery. I'll have over $1 million. You think I'm going to let a little nigga like this fuck that up? Hell no. I'll kill 10 more niggas just like him before I fuck that shit up. We on the same page, Lewis? And De Niro's like, yeah, I follow. My nigga. And they dap up.
Bro, that's ridiculous. Is that how it ends?
Yeah.
Wait, where was Jackie Brown?
Wait, why did they show me Pam Grier?
Yeah, where's fucking Pam Grier?
So cut to a parking lot. LAX.
Wait, does she show her titties in this movie?
Pam Grier's heading into work. I'm not gonna say. Pam Grier's heading into work. You see this cop walk up, and she's walking in with her little flight attendant bag. She's leaving work, like she's going to her house, right? And she's walking off. She's got her bag, and the cop goes, "Excuse me, miss. I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm gonna need to search that bag." And then another cop comes up, like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna need to search that bag." The other cop, you might have heard of this actor, Michael Keaton.
Oh my God, man! What? Why? Batman is in this?
Batman's in this.
All right.
He's just one of the cops.
Yeah, he just had a walk-on role. This nigga's fucking. Damn, that's crazy.
So they stop and they look in the bag, and she's like saying no in a nice way. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Look, we're just gonna peek in for a second. I'll keep my eye on. We're not gonna take anything. We're looking for something, and we're sorry. And she's like, all right. And then she's like, good flight. And then it's like, yeah, she came back from Cabo. Whoop, whoop. And as they're talking, they pull an envelope out of her bag, and he looks in it, and it's like a bunch of money in that shit. And she's like, damn. And then he's like, ooh, I'd say there's about 50 grand in here, partner. What would you say, Ray? And Ray is Keaton. And Keaton's like, yeah, that's about 50 grand right there. This your money? And she's like, what if I say no? He goes, well, you know the rules. It's your job. If it's over 10 grand, you have to declare it. If you don't declare it, they're going to put you through customs. And she goes, I'm not saying another word. They go, Jackie, the people in custom are pricks. They're assholes. They're going to put you right to prison. Guy like me and my man Mark here, we're reasonable guys. You can talk to us. It's up to you. She's like, you see her, she's like, yeah. Fuck. Like, she's like, I'm fucked, you know? Cut to, they're in the office. They pull her file. Apparently, she's been busted before for carrying drugs for her husband, who was a pilot.
Oh, yeah.
All right, her husband went to jail. She just got a slap on the wrist. 13 years later, now she's 44. She's flying for this shitty airline that just goes to Mexico and back. She makes 16 grand a year plus benefits. Like, they're like, yo, what the fuck happened in your life? Right? And then they go, Jackie, do you have a good lawyer? She doesn't say anything. They go, Jackie, do you know a Beaumont Livingston? And then she's like, no. And then they go, because he knows you. And then she's like, who is he? And then they tell him, like, oh, he just died. We found him in the trunk of a car. And she's like, yo, I don't know no Beaumont. What the fuck? And then they're like, well, we're not saying you know Beaumont, but why do you suppose he knows you? And then she's like, her eyes kind of get big. And they're like, look, Miss Brown, we don't give a fuck about you. You know who we want. You refuse to cooperate, we'll give you the customs. You'll go to court, and you're going to serve 2 years in prison. Easy. And they go, if I was a 44-year-old black woman, I don't think I'd have 2 years to throw away. Now let's start again. Who in Mexico gave you this money? And who the hell are you bringing it to? And she goes, I'm not saying another goddamn word. And they're like, okay. They go through all her money again. And then out the bottom, Keaton finds a bag of cocaine. And he's like, what's this? And she's like, what the fuck's that? What's the fuck that shit? Cut to, our girl's in prison. Boom, bars locked. All right. The next day, she gets called out in court for charge of possession of narcotics with intent to sell. How do you plead? And they're like, yo, she pleads stand. She doesn't plead anything. She just stands mute. So they ask the cops, what do you think we should do for bail recommendation? The cops say 25 G's. The judge looks at her and feels bad, says, I'll set bond for 10 G's and her court date 6 weeks from now. All right. The cops walk out and they leave. They go, damn, I think she should have got a 25 G's. She might be able to get out on 10 G's. As they're walking out and talking, the camera pans to the left. You see our nigga Samuel Jackson in the corner like this, just smoking a cigarette. All right. So you see this nigga, he walks out and he leaves just super cool. Cut to, we see Max Cherry bail bonds. All right. Ordell's back in his office again. Max comes out the bathroom. That's Robert Forster. And he's like, what you doing in here, sir? And he's like, I got some business for you again. He's like, oh, well, what this guy do? He's like, not a guy, it's a she. She's an airline stewardess. They set her bond up for 10 grand. And the guy's like, again, that's pretty high. Who, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's normally not what it is.
This guy's like, something doesn't. It's like, what? Who is this guy who's just like, why say anything about it?
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what the deal is.
You know what the deal is, too. It's just like,
so it's just so funny
stop being a white guy.
That
is a good point, right? And then the guy goes, well, I think we should finish our business with Beaumont first. We haven't, like, settled on that yet. And he goes, oh, you ain't here? Beaumont's gone. He's like, what do you mean gone? It's like, someone blew Beaumont's brains off, apparently. And then the Max guy is like, what the fuck? Right? And then he goes, well, look, the cops came and they talked to my girl, this stewardess, and they locked her up, and now she's scared. Her name's Brown, Jackie Brown. And the guy goes, what'd she do for you? And Odell's like, she don't do nothing for me. I help friends, just like Beaumont. And he's like, huh. He's like, well, I tell you what I think. I think you're in the drug game. And whatever you do, you get away with it. So more power to you. I'll work for you. All right? I got to move some paper around for Beaumont and do this for Jackie. And he says all this shit he's got to do. And he's like, and I'm going to need $1,000 from you. And Odell's trying to, like, slick talk him out of, like, not paying the $1,000. And he makes him pay that shit. Cut to, we see Max dropping off a Mexican girl for the jail and picking up Jackie. He sees Jackie walking from a distance, fool. She's coming from far away. And she's walking up, and as she gets closer and he starts seeing her, slow ass like soul music starts playing, and this nigga's eyes get big because it's fucking Pam Grier, fool. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh shit, like this is a bad bitch, you know? Mm-hmm. So he goes, Miss Brown, I'm Max Cherry, your bail bondsman. Can I give you a lift home? And she's like, she nods. And so she asked him if like they're on the way home, and she's like, so are you a real bail bondsman? And he's like, of course I am. She's like, well, let me see your ID. And she looks at it, and she's like, okay. She goes, who paid my bond? Ordell? And he goes, yes, ma'am. And she goes, in cash? And he goes, yep. And she's like, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? She's like, oh, fuck. And he goes, hey, you want to stop and get a drink? And she's like, yeah, I know this place is cool by my place. Let's stop and get a drink. So they go to this dark little bar. And she says she'll have she starts complaining about how she's going to lose her job and how she don't know how she's going to find rent and blah, blah, blah. And you see Max listening to her, and he's starting to feel her, bro. And he's like, well, I can help you figure something out if you need some help, you know? And she's like, no, if I cooperate, I'll get probation. And she's like, oh, if I don't, then I can get 5 years. And he tells her, like, well, you'll probably get more like a year because he knows court shit, so he helps her out. And then she starts talking about the Beaumont Livingston guy and, like, you know, this guy who had, like, apparently they found a guy with his head blown off in a car, and he knew my name. And then the Max guy goes, oh, Beaumont Livingston. And she goes, you know about him? He goes, yep. He goes, Ordell picked up his bond too, same as you, 10 grand. And she's like, oh, shit, nigga. Like, I am fucked.
Yeah, she's fucked.
She's fucked, bro. You see it like, oh, fuck. So they cut to, she's dropping him off, and then, like, she's going through his, like, she goes, hey, do you have cigarettes, when she's dropping him off? And she opens up his glove box and she sees a gun. And he's like, no cigarettes, I quit. And she's like, oh, she closes it, right? So cut to, he drops her off. He drives away. We see Ordell watching in a distance. This nigga looks scary as fuck, bro. He puts those gloves on, grabs his gun, starts walking towards Jackie's place. Calm as shit, bro. It's a long shot. Knocks on the door. Do. Who is it? How you doing, Miss Jackie? She sees him. She's like, come on in. She lets him in. She closes the door. He looks around. He's like, you got some booze? She's like, yeah, I got some vodka in the freezer. You got OJ? She's like, yeah. Well, hook a brother up with the screwdriver then, girl. She's like, all right. She goes to do it. He cuts the lights out. She doesn't panic though. She stays calm. And he goes, yeah, you gonna thank me? She's like, for what? He's like, for getting your ass out of jail. You know what I did, girl. And then she's like, well, you the same one who got me in jail. He's like, shit, I ain't get you caught with that blow. She goes, that shit wasn't mine. He goes, oh yeah, actually, I forgot to tell you. That shit was for Melanie. I'm sure the dude I bought it from didn't tell you he put it in the bag. That's on me, my bad, girl. And then she's like, you motherfucker. You know, you can tell he just don't give a fuck. And then he's like, I'm sure the cops asked you a bunch of questions about me. She's like, yeah, they asked. And he goes, and you said? She said, I said I'm going to talk to my lawyer. And he's like, you sure you didn't get nervous and let something slip? And then she's like, no. And she gives him a drink. She cuts her lights on, right? And she goes, by the way, you should have asked, you asked them the wrong questions. You need to ask why they picked me up and why they were waiting and why they knew the exact amount of money and all that shit. And then he goes, Beaumont Livingston. I knew that nigga was snitching. I knew it. And then she goes, by the way, my name came up. You ain't say nothing about me, did you? And then he cuts her lights off again. And she's, bro, that's scary. How scary is that, nigga?
Why? Yeah, stop it.
If you're Pam Grier, you're going, hey. I cut him on because you're making me nervous. I didn't know I have to say this out loud, but I cut him on because I'm nervous. So stop cutting him off.
Yeah. I didn't think I'd have to say this because a normal person, this is my house. So a normal person just wouldn't come in and
cut the lights off?
Rearrange things.
But yeah, I'm going to say it.
But
don't.
Yeah. I hate to be that person.
Trey, I hate to do this, but you're really
making me be that guy.
You're making me think you're about to murder me.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just going to say that out loud too. I think you're about to murder me. So I'm just going to keep the lights on. Lights on. I'm going to go cut all the lights on. So she goes, no, I didn't say nothing. He goes, well, that's mighty noble of you. Did they tell you what happened to Beaumont? And she's like, yeah, they told me. And then right then, the camera, I love this shot. The camera splits. So you see them and this nigga walking up on her as he's questioning her. And you see Max Cherry driving home, just smiling, right? And Ordell's right up on Jackie and he's got like his hand down there around her throat. And he's saying, yeah, you know about Beaumont. You heard about Beaumont. So maybe you need to answer my questions the right way, right? And then right then you see Max pull up to his office and he goes to get his gun from his glove box and he opens it and the gun is gone. Cut back to our girl with the thing and then he goes, Jackie? And she goes, yeah. And Ordell goes, what's that on my nuts? And she goes, you know what it is, motherfucker. And you hear click, click. And then the lights come on, bro. And she's now, take your hands off my throat, nigga. And you see this nigga back up. He goes, what you doing all this for? We was just talking, damn, girl. And she's like, just talking my ass. Fuck you, Ordell. Fuck you. She goes, and she grabs his gun. She goes, what's this? What's this? He's like, girl, you know I always got a gun on me. She's like, shut your raggedy ass up and sit the fuck down. And he's like, damn, girl, come on. Put your hands behind your head. And she cuts the lights on. And then he's like, I just came over here to talk. We got to be all like this. And she's like, we ain't got nothing to talk about. She goes, we only got one thing to talk about. And that's one thing. And she goes, and that's what you're willing to do for me. And he's like, what you mean? She's like, I'll get a lawyer. And then she's like, no. She's like, they're going to offer you a plea deal, which is why you're here to kill me. And I'll forgive you for that. I know that's your job. You got to kill me. They're trying to give me a plea deal. We'll do about snitch on you. I'm not an idiot. She goes, but if I walk, I tell on you. I don't do. She goes, I don't want to go to jail. She's like, I'm not going to say shit, but I want something in return. Like, if I'm not going to say shit, I want some money, you know? So she goes, I want 50 grand in an escrow account. And she goes, and if I get a whole year in prison, I want another 100 grand. And she goes, and I want my money, like, to have my money. I want to see I have it. And then he goes, all right, I can get you that. But all my money's in Mexico. You know that. She goes, I know. I got a plan. Cut to time passes. You see they've like had most of their drinks. And they're just talking. And she lets him leave. And she goes, I'll talk to the cops tomorrow morning. He's like, all right, we'll see if it works. And then they like, and that's it. So we don't know what the plan was.
Yeah.
All right. So the next morning, because the shot does, as he leaves, she closes the door, it fades out. It fades in the morning. The shot doesn't change. She opens the door and it's Max. And she goes, you here for your gun? I'm sorry. And she's like, I'll go get it. And he walks in. And then she's like, I'm so sorry about that. I was afraid. I wanted to ask you to borrow it, but I was afraid you'd say no. And I just needed it to feel safe. And then he's like, oh, it's all right. I understand. Did you get a chance to use it? And she's like, no, thankfully. But I felt safe having it. He goes, well, would you care to hold on for it A little longer if you need to. This nigga is in love.
Yeah, well, come on, bro.
She bad, bro. I get it. It's that jungle fever too. This because he's just, So she goes, no, I'm good. I got one now. He goes, you went and bought a gun this morning? And she goes, let's just say I got one now. So they make coffee. She's all sweet. She's like, you want to hear some music? And she's like, this nigga is so clearly in love, bro. She cuts on some shit. And it's like, didn't I do it, baby? What? Didn't I do it, baby? And Max is like, damn, this is nice. And then, so Max is asking about the cops, right? And then she tells him like, well, I have a plan. Me and Ordell came up with a plan to get half of his, that he has $500,000 in escrow and even more coming in. So I'm going to tell the cops about that. And then he goes, wait, Ordell came to talk to her? And she's like, yeah, Ordell came to talk about like whatever. And she goes, aren't you worried? And she goes, no, he needs my ass. Or that money just sits there in Cabo, and who's going to go get it? He'd have to either hire a whole other stewardess that just happens to be a stewardess that just happens to work for that airline, or he has to trust me. Trust me, he's going to go with the latter. It's easier. And he's like, damn, that's a fucking, I don't know if you know this, but Ordell's possibly killed people. And she goes, I realize that. And then she goes, but let me tell you something. If it means going to jail or that probation thing, fuck that shit. I'd rather die. Like, I'm not going through all that again, Max. And then it's quiet. And then these niggas like start talking about like getting old and shit and start flirting and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, yeah.
And she tells him like some real shit about how her life kept getting fucked up when she got arrested and how she's like, she's not scared of dying. She's more scared of having to start all over again like she did, which is why her life is in this situation at 44. Because she messed up earlier in life. You know what I mean? Yeah, so she's like, she can't afford to mess up again now and start over again. Like, she's like, I'd rather die before I do that shit again. Right? And she's like, and that's way more scary than Ordell. So the next day, Jackie's talking to the cops. And the Keaton guy, she's talking to Michael Keaton. And she says she's going to flip on Ordell. But she needs permission to leave the country. You know, they're like, hell no, you can't leave the country. And she's like, yo, if you don't let me leave the country, I'm not going to be able to go to Mexico and get his money. I'm going to get fired from my job. And the whole thing is pointless. She's like, I'll deliver money for Ordell. She's like, I do that. And they go, wow, so you're admitting that? She's like, I'll admit it. And they go, what, does he sell guns? And she goes, yes. And they go, have you ever seen him sell guns? And she goes, no. And they go, fuck. But he told you he did. And she goes, yeah, he told me. But like, that's all I know. I've never seen him do it. And they go, well, all right. Well, how do you want to help us? She goes, look, I'll do anything. Just give me my job. Let me go get that money for him. Besides wearing a wire, because I'm not doing that shit. That's too risky. I'll do whatever you need. She goes, but in return, I got to be able to leave the country. So you see the cops looking at each other and they're like, all right, deal. Okay. So we see cut to our girl Melanie, that white girl, is smoking weed with Deniro. This is his white bitch, right? Samuel Jackson's. And she's smoking weed. And you like, our boy says like, damn, you know, you high already? You know, Samuel Jackson, he's giving her shit. This is one scene I remember where she hands Deniro the weed. And I hadn't even smoked weed yet, Trey. But he hits it and he starts coughing. He's like, damn, I'm getting old. I can't stop coughing. And she's like, oh, don't worry. Coughing gets you higher. And that shit stuck with me forever. And then I started smoking weed and I was like, damn, coughing gets you higher. Just like that scene in Jackie Brown.
That was, oh yeah, you saw that before you started smoking.
Yeah, bro, that shit is weird. That shit stick with you, fool.
Yeah. And you were like, oh shit, movies are real.
Yo, movies are real, nigga. I think Christopher Tucker's dead.
Hey man, don't shoot me, man.
Hey man, come on, man. Don't shoot me, man.
I want more lines, man.
I want more lines, Quentin, man. Quentin, I need more lines, man.
It's so funny him yelling, Quentin, man.
Yo, that is funny, bro. Quentin, you got me dying in the beginning of the movie, man. I need more lines, Quentin. Damn, man.
This is my chance, man. Damn.
Come on, dog. You see me in Fifth Element? I was fucking great, man. So, Ordell says, hey, I got to go leave for a little while. To Deniro, he's like, hang on my girl Mel, watch some TV and shit. You know, he's like, I get high at night. Y'all can get high during the day. He's like, I got to go do some business. He's like, walk me to the door, space girl. And then she starts walking. His white girl walks into the door and he goes, hope you don't mind hanging with my boy, but just try not to tear his clothes off of him. You know, I just bought him for him. And she laughs. So cut back to she walks up and she's hitting the bong. They chit chat more. Deniro's soft spoken, bro. You know, he ain't saying much. And then she looks over and she goes, you want to fuck? And he's like, yeah. Cut to this, you hear, and this nigga's like,
what?
This nigga comes, and she's like, whew, that was great. Now we can just hang out. And he's like, yeah. Oh, yeah, now we can just hang.
What?
She's a whore, Trey.
Oh. Yeah, I was like, why couldn't they just hang out without fuck? Why couldn't they just hang out? That's so funny. You know you could just hang out, right?
They could, but no.
Yeah.
Cut to the next day. Our boy Max Sherry, he's out literally buying the music he was listening to at Jackie Brown's place. Like, this nigga is in love, bro.
Bro, yeah, he's... Oh, come on. Yeah, we already knew that.
So Ordell...
This guy fucking...
Oh, that guy, bro. Ordell goes and meets Jackie at a bar. And then he walks up and, you know, he starts kind of flirting with her and messing with her. And then he's like, anybody follow you here? And she's like, I don't know. He's like, what you mean you don't know? That's kind of important. She's like, look, they knew I was meeting you anyway. He goes, what? She goes, I told the cops all about you. I told them I was meeting you. She goes, damn, nigga, why would you do that? And she goes, what you mean? This was a part of the plan. He's like, yeah, but I thought you wasn't going to say my name. She's like, look, they already knew who you were. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to go ahead and tell him. He's like, well, damn, what else you tell him? He's like, that you got $500,000 in Mexico and that you trying to bring in the other half. And she goes, what the fuck you telling them all that for? And she's like, yo, I realize they don't give a fuck about that shit. They just want to catch them gums. They'll catch you with the guns. And Ordell's like, damn, I don't know if I like this plan, Jackie. This is kind of fucking risky, nigga. And then she lays it out for him, right? She's like, look, I'm going to make 2 deliveries of your money. This is how they think they're going to get you. The first will be the 10 grand like they think, like I normally do, right? And the second time, I'm going to do the $500,000. But I'm going to say you never picked up the money, right? And she goes, like, we'll plan it out. It'll be perfect. And he's like, fuck, all right, okay. And then he goes, and he's like, break it down to me again. She goes, the first time they see me do it, they'll see me hand the money to someone. It'll be a friend of yours. He goes, we make sure it's a woman. She's like, cool, a woman. And then she's like, all right. And then he goes, and then the next trip, I hand them the $500,000 in cash to the same person. And then they won't even know what hit them. Like I'll sneak it in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that'll be the plan. And he's like, damn. He's like, so we need 2 women. All right, I can pull this off. And she goes, all right, we'll do this at the mall, this one mall in the food court. And he's like, all right, cool. And she's like, I want 15% of the $1 million cut. He's like, hell no. She's like, I'm the manager of this. That means I get 15%. He goes, managers get 10%. I know that shit. And then she's like, that's an agent. That's you thinking of to get. And then like they start going back and forth. And then she's like, your ass is getting 10%, girl. Period. And so they slap hands. They go, deal, nigga. Like, deal. All right. Cut to Deniro and our girl smoking weed. The Melanie girl. The Melanie girl is just shitting on Ordell, saying how he ain't this and he ain't that. And our boy Deniro's like, yeah, well, he's doing good so far. I mean, he's pretty smart. And she's like, yeah, smart. He moves his lip when he reads. He ain't that fucking smart. He's just streetwise. And then they keep smoking. And then she goes, you know he went to see the stewardess, right, about that $500,000 in Mexico. And Deniro's like, yeah, I know. And she goes, you know him and the stewardess are scheming how to get that money? And he goes, yeah, your point? And she goes, how about this? We let them get the money. They bring it here. We take the money from them. And Deniro's like, you know?
Yeah, what? Yeah, what? Who is this bitch?
Who is this bitch? Trey, when I say you have no idea what's coming, bro. You couldn't guess from, like, I know right now you're like, I could probably guess. You couldn't guess in a million trillion years what the fuck's about to happen, dog. Even if you try. You want to guess? Where you think this is going?
This is when they start the library. No, I don't know. Let's right? This is when they fucking...
This is when the library kicks in?
Yeah.
Yo. So, Deniro and Ordell, they go to a bar, right? And they're talking. And Deniro starts bringing up Melanie. And he goes, oh, man, I'm sorry I left you with that bitch the other day. I figured you hadn't had some pussy in a while, and she's good to fuck a nigga that hasn't had some pussy in a while. And he's like, yeah. He's like, no, it wasn't, that wasn't the problem. It was cool to kick it with her. Deniro smiles. He's like, and he's like, you fucked her? And he's like, well, yeah, I fucked her. He's like, nah, I knew that bitch was going to fuck you 2 minutes I walked out the door. And then Deniro goes, so she ain't your girlfriend, right? And he goes, no. He goes, okay, good. He goes, well, you fucked her already anyway, so what does it matter, nigga, if she was? And then they kind of start laughing, right? And then he tells her, like, yo, man, I don't know if you trust that bitch. He goes, why? He's like, man, she was just talking about some shit. And, like, I just don't know if you should trust her. And then he's like, man, let me tell you something. Like, he goes, let me guess. She said she asked you to set me up. And he goes, yeah, bro, she did. He goes, yeah, that bitch ain't shit. But I can't trust her. But I know this. I can trust Melanie to be Melanie. And the guy's like, But Samuel Jackson is cool with it. Like, he already knew that she was going to try some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. That's so funny. Yeah, that bitch.
Hey, bro, also, like, damn, that's when you know, like, oh, you got mind control over that bitch. It's like, you hear it, but you're like, oh, I ain't even worried about that. I own that bitch's soul, nigga.
That's crazy, man. Yeah.
So Jackie gets home. She plays her messages. It's Max. He's leaving like a long voicemail trying to get her to call her back, right? This nigga's in love, bro. Cut to the Del Amo Mall, Torrance, California. You see Ordell and Jackie are there, right? And they're planning it all out. She tells them how the kind of bag the money's going to be in, and then they'll come to the food court. They're going to do the switch here, yada, yada, yada. We see our boy Max leaving at the mall, like leaving a movie at the mall at the same time. He's like leaving a movie while there. So Ordell's like, all right, I like the plan. It's all good. I'll see you later. So he walks off, and as he does, he sees Max walking towards the food court. He's like, the fuck is this shit? So he kind of hides. Jackie notices him. She's like, Max. And he's like, hey. And she's like, what you doing here? And he's like, catching a movie. And then they start talking, right? And then Ordell's watching, going, what the fuck is this shit? Because he thinks it looks like you know what I mean? That they planned to meet up. But we know, like, oh, they didn't.
Yeah.
That was genuine.
Yeah.
So she tells Max about Keaton and, like, all, like, the cop and, like, you know, and all this and, like, the plan and all that stuff. And she goes, hey, Max, what would you do? Would you take the money? If you could just get your hands on this money, $500,000, what would you do? It wouldn't be missed. He's like, well, I'd be tempted. Be tempted to get out the bail. He's like, but I'm already getting out the bail bond business anyway. She goes, really? He goes, yeah, I'm tired of it. She goes, when'd you decide? He goes, Thursday. She goes, Thursday? Cut back to it's him meeting her. Like they show him meeting her, right? And then so they talk more, and he's like, I've been doing this shit 19 years. I'm done with it. And she goes, Max, you didn't answer my question. If you could walk away with $500,000, would you take it? And she smiles, that beautiful Pam Grier smile, like, fade to black. He doesn't say, we don't hear his answer. Money exchange, first trial run. You know, she said she told the cops she'd do it 2 times.
Right, yeah, this is the first one.
All right. So we see Jackie. We see her land. We see her head to her car. The cop stop her. It's Keaton. He's talking. He has a wire on him, and he's like, all right, this is going to do the money exchange. It's the trial run. Yeah. Subject is carrying a flight bag with a vanilla envelope. She's wearing this. She's wearing that. They're filming everything because they want it all. They're setting them up, right? And they want to get it right. You know, they check all the money. It contains all hundreds, the amount of $10,000. Subject will deliver the money in a Del Armo fashion bag. It's white, purple with pink lettering. Good. Let's all do this. Cut to, we see Jackie smoking a cig in the food court waiting. Max walks by like he doesn't even notice her. Okay. All right, but like they make eye contact. He sits somewhere else. We see the cops watching from afar. We see this country ass girl walk up. Okay, yeah. All right, this is one of Samuel Jackson's hoes, and she's all like, "Hi," and she's like, "This seat taken?" What? And then Jackie's like, "No, go ahead and have a seat, girl." And then the girl has a bag just like Jackie's, and she puts it under the thing, and she's like, "Put it next to mine. That's okay. Good job." And she goes, "You know, when I leave, you take the other one, right?" And the girl's like, "Mm-hmm." She's like, "Good. What's your name?" "Sharonda." "Okay, Sharonda. That's a nice name. You go ahead and eat."
It's not a nice name.
They can't hear you.
It's not a nice name.
So Jackie grabs the other bag and leaves. Max is watching, right? Keaton follows Jackie. Okay? We see Jackie on the phone the night before with Max. Max is nervous, saying like, man, I don't know if I can do this. And then she's like, yo, Max, I can't do this without you. And he's like, cut back to the mall. We see Max watching. All right? He's still kind of nervous. Max watches the Sharonda girl. She gets the bag and like she grabs the bag, walks off the cop's tailor. Max keeps watching. There's another black woman. Remember the Simone girl I told you that was dancing for Deniro in the beginning?
Yeah.
It's her. She's sitting by, and she really grabs the bag and walks off. That was Ordell in it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She does. So he sees that shit, and he's like, okay. He smiles, and he follows her outside, and he gets her license plate. She drives off. And Max looks at him, like he goes to himself, and he looks at the notepad, and he's like, this could work. It could work. Fade to black.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
So Jackie goes home. Jackie the next day goes and sees Ordell. And she's like, Ordell. She's arguing. And you see Ordell's arguing with the Melanie chick. And Melanie leaves pissed. And Melanie's mad because she's not going to be involved in the help, like with the crime. She wants to help. And he said no. So you see her mad. So she storms out pissed. Deniro's just sitting there on the couch. Jackie's like, we need to talk. And she's going off about the Sharonda bitch. Apparently gave the money to someone else. He's like, how you know about that? And he's like, I saw her do it. Don't worry about it. And she's like, my ass is on the line. He's like, Jackie, chill. She's like, no, fuck all that, chill. He's like, that's my friend Simone. Simone's in on the plan. It's all a part of the plan. She's like, well, I didn't know that part of the plan. Luckily, I caught that shit. But really, we know it was Max. You know what I mean? And he's like, look, I'll call Simone and I'll tell her to get here now. So he calls her and he tells he's calling Simone's not answering. All right, and Odell's saying he's sorry. More time passes, they drink and they chill, and they keep planning out what to do with the next one. So Lewis, they're planning out the whole thing, and she's like, yo, so this is what we'll do. We'll make the exchange in the fitting room. We'll do it in the women's fitting room at this one night store. And then Odell's like, I'll be at this titty bar downtown waiting on the call from my man Lewis. When he gets all the money, he'll say everything is cool. It'll all be a smooth plan. You know what I mean? Cut 2. Our boy Keaton calls Jackie Brown. She goes to dinner with him. She tells him about Odell and Lewis and about the plan, like, you know what I mean, setting everything up. Keaton already knows everything about Robert De Niro, about how they're like, she knows, and he knows everything about this Simone, like the Simone chick. And he asks, he's like, do you know Simone? She's like, I never heard of the Simone girl. She's like, okay. And then they keep talking, and they keep talking about the Melanie girl who's apparently pissed because she's not in on the plan. And he's like, oh yeah, I know about the Melanie chick as well. And then he's like, apparently Ordell's really paranoid. And she's just setting Keaton up. And you see Keaton just like taking in all this information. But she's lying about some of it. You know, but it's like here. But some of the stuff she's telling the truth about. So you're like, man, what the fuck is this? Because if you're, as a viewer, you're like, yo, I don't know what this plan is. I don't know what's going on. So cut to Jackie talking to Max about how she lied to Keaton. And she's telling him what she lied about. And Max is like, yo, you're taking a hell of a chance, kid. Like, I don't know if this is all going to work. You know, whoop, whoop. She's like, don't worry. I'm going to hide the money at the bottom of the bag. He's not going to check it. Everything's going to go fine. I promise. And then she's like, you just don't make a move until I come out that fitting room. And then he's like, okay, you got it. So Ordell calls. And he's like, yo, change the plan. Jackie's like, what you mean? He's like, you know that bitch Simone? Apparently she split with all the money. She's like, what do you mean she split? She's like, yeah, she got the 10 grand. She's gone. And then she's like, God damn. He's like, hey, quit bugging. All right? So now don't worry. I'm going to use Melanie. And he's like, that bitch has got no sense. Just the same sense as Simone. She's a stupid bitch. They can handle it. They can do like blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about it. And he hangs up. All right? Money exchange. For real this time.
What?
That's what comes up.
That's ridiculous.
Yo, Tarantino's that nigga. Yo, for real this time? Fire. So we see the plane landing from Cabo. We see Jackie putting the money in the bag, clothes on top of it, right? She puts all of them, and then she puts 50 G, so she puts all the money at the bottom of her bag. She puts all these clothes on top, and then she puts the 50 G's that it looks like that the cops only would know about.
Yeah.
On the top of it, okay? Cut to them in the car. Keaton's counting the money. He's doing the whole same thing again. He's like 50 G's all here. He's marking it all with a pen. And then she goes, have you ever been tipped to take any of it? And he's like, no, never, right? And then she smiles, and they're kind of like, she's making him laugh. And then he goes, if this works, you know you're officially out of trouble. So don't go doing something stupid, Jackie. And she's like, I won't. How could I when y'all watch me every second? He's like, it's good because I was just about to tell you we're watching you every goddamn second. She's like, okay. So, bro, they put the money in this Billingsley Shopping's bag. Mm-hmm. And he goes, hey, I expect to see the same thing in Sharonda's bag. Like, don't be trying to pull no shit. So the time comes up, 3:30 p.m. We see Max. He's talking to his assistant, who works at his bail bond place. It's Debo from Friday.
Oh my God!
He's just in this for a little bit. I know, right?
That's ridiculous.
And he's like, "Yo, I'm heading into he's like, "Hey, I'm about to go see a movie." And Debo's like, "All right, cool. I'll see you when I get back." 3:47 p.m. Deniro's knocking on the bathroom door. Let's go. Come on, Melanie. We gotta go in a minute. The phone rings. He walks over. He's like, "Hello." And Samuel Jackson's at the bar. He's like, "Lewis, what the fuck you still doing there, man? I'm calling to make sure you're not there, nigga." He's like, what are you still doing? He's like, man, I'm trying to get her out the bathroom. She won't come. Nigga, you guys got to fucking be there. Let's go. What the fuck? You messing with my money? He hangs up. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. You got to go. Kiss my fucking ass, fuckwad. Oh, boom. This nigga busts the door down and grabs her. All right?
Yeah.
We see Jackie driving to the mall. Then you see Max heading there. Then you see De Niro and Melanie heading there, right? De Niro and Melanie keep arguing. It's 3:52 p.m. Jackie pulls up. She fills a bag with books and puts a little bit of money on top. All right? And then she puts a little bit in her shirt pocket, and she puts towels on top of the money. She heads in the mall. Street life. Street life. That's what's playing when she walks in. Street life. She heads to a store to shop. She sees a suit. She's like, ooh, I'm going to try that on. She comes out. The cashier girl's like, oh, my God, you look incredible. She's like, thanks, girl. She's like, I think I'm going to buy this. She's like, you should. She's like, oh, will that be cash or charge? And she's like, cash. And we see Pam Grier go back to the dressing room, okay? She sits back in the dressing room, fool. She hears a white girl come in. Like, she just sees her feet.
Yeah.
And she goes, Melanie? And she hears Jackie? She goes, okay. And then you hear the Melanie girl go, hey, are you going to get that suit? It looks really good on you. And she's like, yeah, I think so. She goes, you got something for me? You betcha. And then Jackie puts the bag down, takes the money, right? Melanie puts her bag down. She takes it. Jackie puts the bag down, puts that little money she had in her shirt pocket, puts it on top. She goes, hey, there's a little cherry on top for you. Fuck Odell. He doesn't have to know about everything, right? And she's like, thanks, girl. Right? So Jackie immediately fills the other bag with all the rest of the money. The bag the homegirl just gave her, she fills with all the rest of the money that she, and then puts the towels back on, the $500,000. And then she leaves the bag in the dressing room. She rushes out. All right? She's rushing out. The cashier's like, oh, man, we got to pay for that. And she's like, oh, yeah, she's wearing the suit. And then she gives her the money. You see Jackie rush off. And she goes, oh, and as she's rushing off, she goes, oh, by the way, somebody left a bag in there with a bunch of towels in it. And the lady's like, oh, okay. And then you see Jackie rushing off. She's hurrying off. She looks all frantic. And she finally looks around. She goes, Ray, come out. And Michael Keaton and all the cops run out. And they're like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, she's like, Melanie, she burst into the room. She took all the money and she ran away. And they're like, what? Cut to 4:12 p.m. All right? Flashback. We see Deniro and Melanie pulling up in the van. Okay? And he's like, fucking, we're late. Fuck, we're late. And she's like, oh my God, it's not a big deal. Fuck, shut up. And she's walking. She's like, ooh, can I go look at this? And he's grabbing her like this, like, bitch, fucking come on. And she's like, let go. Oh, let go. And he's like, God damn, you fucking annoying ass bitch. You, fucking the reason we're late. And she's like, oh, who cares? Oh, fuck you. And she just keeps talking shit, right? He walks her in. We see from their perspective, Jackie walking out with the suit, right? And the lady like, oh, cash or charge, we'll do it, right? And then Melanie's looking at her, and to Deniro, she's like, wow, I really like her in that suit. And Deniro's like, will you shut the fuck up? And then she's like, look, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go buy something. He's like, stay your ass right here. And she's like, let go of me. And she's like, you're sweating. He's like, let go of me. She's like, and then she keeps like annoying him. He's like, bitch, you're going to stay right the fuck here. And she's like, let go. And he's like, oh, he has to let go. And she walks off, right? So this nigga is so pissed. You see, finally, Melanie, she runs in. She does the switch. She runs out. But this is from their perspective. So as she's running out, you see Deniro like trying to catch up to her, and he's like, give me the fucking bag. She's like, no, I want to carry it. He's like, give me the fucking bag. I want to carry it. Give me the fucking bag. No, let go. You're going to break it. I'm going to break your fucking jaw. You hear me? I'll break your fucking jaw if you don't give me this fucking bag. Bro, Deniro's acting because he hasn't talked this whole movie.
Yeah.
And now he's like so flustered, bro. When you see this nigga is so mad. So he gets the bag, and then they come outside, right? And then she goes, which way is the car? And he goes, oh, fuck. And she goes, oh my God, you and Ordell are the two biggest fuck ups I ever met. How did you guys ever meet robbing banks? What the fuck, did you ever forget your car there too, you fucking idiot? And he's just like breathing heavy. And then she's like, is it this aisle, Lewis? Who forgets a fucking where they park in a fucking crime thing, right? And then she keeps messing with him and keeps messing with him. And then he goes, I found it. It's this one. And she goes, you sure? And he turns and he goes, hey, don't say anything else. Just keep your mouth shut, okay? Don't say one fucking word, okay? And she goes, okay, Lewis. And this nigga turns back around. Bam, bam! Shoots that bitch twice.
What?
Kills her.
That's ridiculous. What are you talking about? Why would he
do that? I know. Yo, he kills her in the parking lot.
Damn, man. I mean, sometimes you got to kill a bitch in a parking lot.
Yo, when they're bothering you like that.
Yeah, she was asking for it.
She's kind of asking for it. I remember when I saw that movie, I was like, what the fuck? Because he just kills her, fool. And
she's asking for it.
And it's like in the middle, and he walks to his car and he's like, yep. And he gets in, he drives off, right? 4:04 p.m. Flashback again. We see our boy Max pulling up to the mall. All right. He watches Jackie come out in the suit. And he sees, she's like, oh, I think I'll take it, cash, and he hears, let go. He looks over. He sees Deniro and the girl, Melanie, right?
Yeah.
And he's watching them. Him and Deniro lock eyes for a second. Max smiles and walks off. Deniro doesn't think anything of it, though. So Melanie comes out. Deniro takes off after her. He's watching them. He sees them arguing and shit. He sees Jackie come out, pay for her stuff, and he sees her frantically run off. And then he looks around and he goes, and away we go. And he walks up all calm, and he goes, excuse me. My wife said she left some beach towels in the fitting room, and the cashier goes, oh, yeah, a woman just saw them. They're right in there. You can go ahead and grab them. And he's like, thank you kindly. And he walks in all calm. He opens the door. The bag is there. He looks in, nothing but cash, and just that like Ocean's 11 kind of music plays, like dun 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 dun, yeah, dun 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 dun, you know, and he grabs it.
Yeah, blues.
Oh yeah,
They
bro.
robbing banks to fucking Dave Burbeck. You can only fucking rob banks if you got some smooth
blues playing behind me, brother.
But
so
yeah.
This nigga walks out. He gets in his car. He smiles. He drives off. Mm-hmm. All right. So we see Deniro pick up Ordell. Hey, Sam. At the bar.
Sam Lopez.
Yep. Deniro picks up Ordell at the bar, right? And then Ordell's like, yo, keep on driving the 9th. You know, we'll leave this van in the parking lot, pick up another car that's waiting for us. And he looks around. He's like, where's Melanie? And then De Niro's all flustered still, and he's like, "Oh man, that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about, man."
Oh man, speaking of,
I'm glad you brought that up.
Listen, man, I'm glad.
He goes, "Oh, bro, so let me just tell you, man. She kept bugging me, you know." And he goes, "What do you mean?" "Well, she kept bugging me when we got there, and that's why we were late. And then she kept trying to shop, and she just wouldn't listen to me. And then there was a whole situation with the bag. She wouldn't let the bag go, and I wanted to carry the bag, and she wanted to carry the bag. And then I forgot where the car was parked, and she kept going, Lewis, where's the car parked? Lewis, where's the car parked?" And he goes, "What'd you do, man? Did you leave her there?" He goes, No, I shot her." And he goes, "What?" He goes, yeah, man, I shot her. I shot her twice, and then I left her there.
Man.
He goes, "You couldn't just talk to her?" He goes, "Nah, man, she wouldn't let me just talk to her. So you didn't just hit her?" "I thought about hitting her, but I mean, I don't know. Well, is she dead?" "Pretty much." "Nigga, is she dead?"
Shooting her is better than hitting her.
Yo.
He's a feminist.
He is a feminist.
I can't hit her.
I mean, come on, people were looking.
Yeah. God damn.
So this nigga's like, he's like, "I shot her." So he goes, "Damn, bro. So is she dead?" And he's like, "I think so." He's like, "Nigga, where'd you shoot her?" He's like, "In the stomach and the chest." And then Samuel Jackson's like, "Well, if you had to do it, you had to do it."
Damn, that's how it is.
He's like, "Well, but what we don't want is that bitch surviving on us and fucking snitching on us, obviously, you know?" So he opens the bag. Ordell opens the bag, and it's nothing but the little bit of cash in there and a bunch of books. And he's like, "Yo, where the fuck is all the money? It's only like 40 grand in here. You're light. You lied about $500,000, Playboy." And he's like, "I don't know. That's the bag she came out with." He goes, "What do you mean? Where the fuck is my money?" He goes, "I don't know, man. We never put a hand in it. I promise. That's the bag." "Lewis, you telling you the truth? You telling me the fucking truth?" "Yeah, I'm telling you the fucking truth, man. She came out with the bag. I took it from her, and then you shot her." He's like, "Yeah, and then I shot her." "So you telling me Melanie's not in the hotel room right now?" "Oh, man, fuck you. Is that what you're telling me, man? Fuck you. She's not waiting on you in the hotel room." "Man, I can't believe you'd say that to me. Fuck you, man. How could you even ask me that? How could you fucking ask me that?" Which is, bro, how dope is the writing on that? Do you feel me? Like the situation?
The
writing is insanely genius.
Yeah.
So he goes, "Shit, man, pull the car over." And De Niro's like, "Oh, kind of feelings are hurt." He goes, "Man, I can't believe you could ask me something like that, man. And she waiting in the hotel room. You know I wouldn't do you like that." He goes, so where's the gun you shot her with?" He's like, "It's in there." And Ordell grabs it and he checks the gun. He goes, he thinks, he's like, "It's Jackie Brown." He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Jackie Brown, she took the money." He's like, "Well, why wouldn't she take it all?" He's like, "I don't know, but I'm sure going to ask her that before I blow her fucking brains out." And he goes, "You think maybe the feds got her?" He's like, "No, the feds got her. She wouldn't have put those books in there and tricked us with all that shit. She wants me to know that she ripped me off." Mm-hmm. And then he goes, "Well," you see Lewis thinking. He goes, "Well, maybe that's true. Or maybe she gave the money to someone else, before Melanie went in there." And then he goes, "Oh, you know what? You know who I saw in there? I didn't think much of it, but now that I'm thinking about it, I did wonder, why the fuck was that guy in there?" He goes, Lewis, who are you talking about?" He goes, "I saw that Max Cherry guy, the bail bond guy." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, he was there." He goes, "You fucking saw him? You saw him there? You didn't say anything?" He goes, "Well, I wasn't thinking about it when I saw him." He goes, "Motherfucker, you ain't thinking about shit lately, you fucking dumb motherfucker." He goes, "Hey, man, all right." He's like, "No, you fucking idiot. He bonded her out, god damn it." He goes, You didn't think to that? You didn't think to put that together?" He goes, "Look, man, I'm sorry. I'm giving you the reasons, I'm sorry." He goes, God damn, you a fucking dumb motherfucker." He goes, "Look, man, you better back off, man." And then Ordell, bam! Ordell shoots De Niro.
Yeah.
And De Niro's like, and then Ordell's like, "Man, what the fuck happened to you, man? Her ass used to be beautiful." bam, and he kills this nigga. He gets out the van. He walks off calm. We see our girl Jackie in a holding cell. Mike Keaton is pissed. You know, you didn't say you were going to go shopping. You went in there and got a suit. Where the fuck is the money? Nothing went wrong. Like, what the fuck? You fucking lying bitch. You know what I mean? And then she's like, look, I'm telling you the truth. Melanie burst in. She grabbed the bag. Ordell must have told her to do it. I'm sorry. I don't know. Right? And she's like, Melanie wasn't a part of the plan. I'm sorry. And she was like, I was in my underwear. I was going to chase her, but I had to put my clothes back on. So, you know, and but you had time to pay all the sales. He's like, but you had time to pay that sales clerk for this suit. He's like, I was frantic. I didn't know what to do. I'm sorry. And she's like, I ran to get you. I promise I did. And then he's quiet. He goes, so you have no idea what my 50 grand is? She's like, not an idea. You have no idea what my fucking 50 grand is? She goes, I don't have an idea. No idea what my 50 grand is? She's like, yeah, motherfucker, I don't know. He goes, God damn it, Jackie. I sure hope you didn't do anything stupid. Right then, Keaton's partner comes in. He's like, come here. He whispers something to him. And then his partner, Keaton, comes back and he's like, well, apparently Lewis is dead. He was shot in the van. And we lost Ordell. You know, apparently he never came out. But where we found Lewis's van and dead body, it was about a half a mile from the last place we spotted Ordell. He's like, so, and she's like, so what now? She's like, well, now that's 3 murders that we can pretty much pin on him. So we're going to go pick him up. And she goes, what about me? He goes, what about you? She goes, I helped you. He's like, yeah, you helped us. You gave us Melanie and Lewis, and Melanie was, you know, had some marked bills in her shorts, so that really goes along with your story when we found her dead body. He goes, but I will say, you're free, but you better hope that we find Ordell before he finds you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, bitch, like, you got out of this situation, congrats, but the rest is on you.
Yeah, the rest of God damn.
So cut to Ordell. This nigga's going off at the Sharonda chick's house. Remember the ghetto hood, the Georgia bitch, the Southern bitch?
Yeah.
And he's trying to get anybody to help him so he can get out of town because he knows the cops are coming for him, you know, and nobody wants to help him out, right? And he's just pissed. So right then, Ordell calls Max, and Max isn't in the office, but Devo gives him his beeper number. So Max calls Ordell later, and he's like, hey, I've been looking for you, motherfucker. And then Max is like, yeah, I got your 10 grand, that collateral from Beaumont. Apparently you moved it to Miss Brown. And he goes, oh, and Miss Brown got off? He goes, yep, she got off. So that 10 grand goes back to you. Like, you don't have to worry about it. He's like, okay, well, where can I give you the money? And he's like, well, where do you want to? And then Samuel Jackson gets mad. He goes, look, I know you helped her. I know you have all my motherfucking money. All right? I don't care what story she has, but as long as she hands me my motherfucking money, that's what I want. Right? And then he goes, well, Max is like, well, you can tell her what happened. Well, he goes, and tell her what, Ordell goes, tell her to remember what happened to Beaumont. All right? Remember I said what happened to Beaumont. And if she goes to the police, I'm going to make her an accessory to the motherfucker, and we going to go to jail hand in motherfucking hand. This bitch ain't getting away with this. And then Max is like, all right, okay, that's fair.
What?
And they hang up. They set a time to me, like, that's fine. So Max tells Debo a plan for how to handle the situation, right? And Max goes, Debo finds where Ordell's living, because that's what he does. He's a specialist. That's his job. So you see Ordell, boom, 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 bang on the door. And he's like, yo, what the fuck you doing being here banging on my door like the police? Damn, nigga. And he's like, get your ass in the house. So Max goes to give him the money. He's like, freeze, motherfucker, what you doing? He's like, here, there's a 10 grand. He's like, no, where's all my money? He's like, this is all your money. He's like, how the fuck did you find me? He's like, my boy Winston find me. That's what he does. He's like, well, bully for that nigga. Where the fuck is my money? He's like, look, she's going to give you the rest of your money, but she wants her 10%, and she wants a chance to explain why she had to steal it all from you. And then he's like, man, fuck all that shit. And he's like, Max is like telling her how she was going through it and blah, blah, blah. And it was to really benefit Ordell. And Ordell goes, look, man, my ass may be dumb, but I ain't no dumbass. All right? Where's my money? He's like, your money's in my office. It's in the safe. He's like, okay. Is Jackie at your office? He goes, yep, she's there by herself. He's like, all right. He calls her. He calls the office. Jackie answers. She's like, yeah, I'm here alone. He's like, I'll see you in a bit. I want my fucking money. He hangs up. Right then, she calls someone else. We don't see who she calls, okay? Ordell and Max come outside. Ordell's like, I'm driving. They head to Jackie's place. Jackie's sitting at the desk. There's a gun in the drawer. She keeps practicing drawing it, and she's nervous as fuck, right? Ordell drives, and there's driving, and it's him and Max, and Max's music is playing, the stuff that he bought for Jackie, and Samuel Jackson keeps looking at this nigga, and he's like, you like this shit? He's like, yeah, I do. He's like, huh. So Jackie cuts the lights off and waits. You see the motherfuckers pull up, right? And he goes, my money's in that office? And Max is like, yep. He goes, if she start giving me some bullshit about how the money ain't there and how we got to go somewhere else, I'm going to shoot you in your motherfucking head, Max. And then I'm going to shoot her in her kneecaps until she tells me where my motherfucking money is. Look at me when I'm talking to you, motherfucker. And Max looks over. He goes, I walk in there and Winston's in there or anybody else is in that motherfucker. You the first motherfucker getting shot. Okay? So if there's anything you want to tell me before we get out this car? Nope. You sure? Yep. Better be, motherfucker. Let's roll. They head in. They go in all slow. Jackie is sitting there, and he's like, why is it so dark in here, Jackie? That you? She's like, yeah, it's me. Ordell walks in. God damn, girl, why you sitting in the dark? Right then, Keaton busts in. Freeze, Ordell. All the cops go, freeze. And then Jackie goes, he's got a gun. And these niggas, all the cops shoot this nigga. Bop, 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 bop. He dies.
Damn. What?
And she's just like, there's cops everywhere, you know? And then Jackie thanks him for before he gets, she's like, yo, she thanks Michael Keaton for shooting him. And man, I'm so glad, hey, you got him before he got me. And then he's like, damn, you know? The camera zooms in on Ordell. This nigga's fucking dead, bro. Just shot up.
Damn, bro.
Shit happened out of note, just that fast, bro. Just like that. So 3 days later, we see Max coming out the bathroom of his office. Jackie's there. And then she tells him, she's like, hey, thanks for sending that box to me. It was fun getting $500,000 in the mail. And she goes, minus 10%. But I have to ask you, why'd you only take so little? And he's like, oh, that's all I needed. And then she's like, damn, but, she's like, Max, I feel like I owe you more money. You did so much. And he's like, no, for real, that's all you need. And she's like, well, okay. She goes, Max, I want you to know I didn't use you and I never lied to you. I promise. And then she goes, they keep talking and flirting. And he's like, where you going to go? And she's like, I'm going to go to Spain. You want to come with me? And he's like, no, but I appreciate that offer. Why don't you go have a good time?
What?
And then she goes, you scared of me? And he smiles. And he's like, a little bit. And she walks. Bro, that nigga's, I get why he won the Oscar. That little bit right there. Because you see it of yeah, I'm in love with you, but bitch, you're fucking a problem.
Yeah.
You are a problem. I mean, they made a whole movie about you.
That's, listen, man. I get why they made a movie about this bitch. That's crazy. But he was in love.
He was in love.
That's crazy, man.
So he says a little bit, and she walks up right up on him, and then they rub kind of noses, and then they make out. And she goes, I know. And she goes, I'll send you a postcard.
Whoa.
And then he goes, will you? And she goes, I sure will, partner. And he kisses her again. Right then the phone rings, and he goes, Cherry bail bonds. And then he's like, what is it your son's charged with? And then he looks at Jackie, and she's like, shh, bye. And she goes, and she walks out, and she leaves. And he keeps watching her, and he keeps working as she walks away. And then he finally goes, hey, I'm sorry. Can I call you back? And he hangs up, and she drives off. And this nigga just looks puzzled, that fucking woman. You know what I mean? We see her driving off. A very slight smirk hits her face. Across 110th Street, pimp's trying to catch a woman that's weak. And you see her mouthing the words as she's driving off. Across 110th Street. Jackie Brown.
Damn, man.
What'd you think, dog?
Man, that was great. I didn't know that it had that many people in it, man.
Oh, man. I mean, it's Tarantino.
Damn, bro. Yeah.
Did you, you fucked with it?
Yeah, I fucked with it hard, man. I'm going to have to watch it now. I mean,
yeah, you should watch it.
Let's watch it right now.
No, fuck. All right. Why not?
Yeah.
Bro, I love this movie so much because
that's so fucking dope.
The dialogue, I love the pacing. It's super slow. It takes its time. It's never in a rush. But man, the moments, and also it never hypes up. It doesn't hype up the big moment. I like them. I mean, which I love about all Tarantino movies is it's not like this big build up to this big moment. It's just big moments kind of happen upon you.
Yeah, it's just kind of but I think that's the pacing is pretty good because you don't know when a big moment or you don't know when it's gonna happen, and so it just fucking
you didn't know he was about to shoot that bitch Melanie.
No, but I kind of wanted him to, and so I'm glad. That he did, because I kept thinking, man, I would have shot this motherfucker.
I would have had to just drop this bitch.
Yeah, and cool, because she's a problem. So yeah, that was actually that I would have clapped in the theater if I saw that. I would have felt like.
I will say this. This is how you know how racist the Academy Awards are. Because Robert Forster, the guy who played Max, I mean, he deserved the Oscar.
And Jackie, did she win?
Huh?
Did she win the Oscar?
No one else got nominated. Just her.
Not even
Jackie.
Sam.
Not Sam is who deserves the Oscar nom because he leads. He carries the movie.
Wow.
Not that Max didn't deserve one. His character is. I'm telling you, his character is fucking.
But
awesome.
that's obviously right. That's so crazy, man.
But don't you love? They were like, all right, well, it's a big movie, and we'll give nominations here, but we can't give a nomination to like a black. We can't give a nomination to Samuel Jackson every time he's in a Tarantino movie because he didn't win for Pulp Fiction either.
Damn, bro. That's
John Travolta won.
That's some racist.
I think, or he got nominated. I know they both got nominated.
Racist shit right there.
I thought so too. Because sometimes, whenever I see that in a movie, when I see just the white guy got nominated, I get so annoyed. Like Django, same thing. Yeah. Christoph Waltz won. Did he deserve to win? Absolutely. I would have decided he won too. But why isn't Jamie nominated for a leading man?
He wasn't even nominated?
No.
Oh, god damn. That's crazy.
Tarantino won for screenplay. I think this got nominated for screenplay. I mean, he usually, every time he comes out, he gets nominated for screenplay.
That's ridiculous, man.
But yeah, bro. That with the Academy always bugs me is when they do these serious movies like that, like they're like, oh, we got to give it to this breakout white person, but not this black guy who we know because we know who he is already.
Well, that's why Trump won.
What?
It's Jackie Brown. God damn.
I'm glad you enjoyed, bro.
Yeah, it was
fun
dope.
having you back on the pod, my nigga.
Yo, thanks for having me, man. This was dope, man. Yeah. Now we gotta do the other. Oh, you already did the other one.
What, Death Proof?
Yeah.
No, but I get to tell Sam Hateful Eight, and then eventually I'll meet some other comics who haven't seen Pulp Fiction already. There's always some weirdo like Hassan.
Yeah.
Who hasn't seen
He's
stuff.
so fucking weird. Yeah.
There's always somebody like him. So I'll figure that out.
Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, brother. You're a nigger. Later, guys.
Come on, man. What? Listen, you got to stop calling me the N-word.
Never!
It's getting uncomfortable now. It started off as funny.
Nigga!